He's the thunder-wielding ruler of Mount Olympus, king of the gods, father of heroes, and bringer of storms. But Zeus wasn't always the noble figure modern retellings suggest. Behind the lightning lies a legacy of fear, lust, and absolute power. So who was Zeus really, a divine protector or a mythological tyrant? Zeus's story begins with betrayal. Born to the Titans Cronus and Hera, Zeus was the youngest of 6 siblings. His father, fearing one of his children would overthrow him, swallowed each one whole as they were born. But Hera, desperate to save at least one child, tricked Cronus. She gave him a swaddled stone instead and hid baby Zeus in a cave on the island of Crete. Raised in secret, Zeus grew strong, and when the time came, he returned to challenge his father. With the help of the goddess Medusa, Zeus gave Cronus a potion that forced him to vomit up Zeus's siblings, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. The gods joined forces and launched a 10-year war against the Titans, known as the Titanomachy. After a brutal and destructive conflict, Zeus emerged victorious. The Titans were cast into Tartarus, and Zeus claimed the throne of Olympus. From his new seat of power, Zeus divided the world with his brothers. Poseidon was given the sea, Hades took the underworld, and Zeus claimed the sky. As king of the gods, Zeus presided over law, order, and fate itself. Mortals and gods alike feared and worshipped him. Zeus was the enforcer of oaths and punisher of liars, the god of justice. But justice in the hands of Zeus was often cruel. When Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity, Zeus punished him by chaining him to a mountainside where an eagle tore at his liver each day for eternity. When Sisyphus tricked the gods and escaped death, Zeus condemned him to an endless cycle of futility, pushing a boulder up a hill only to watch it roll back down. Entire generations of humanity were wiped out by Zeus in great floods and plagues when they failed to meet his standards. His wrath wasn't reserved for mortals alone. Even other gods were cautious around Zeus. Hera, Poseidon, and Athena once conspired to overthrow him, chaining him in his sleep. But their rebellion failed when Thetis summoned the 100-handed Briareus to free Zeus. He returned to power with vengeance, reminding the gods that not even Olympus was free from fear. Perhaps the most disturbing part of Zeus's myth is his insatiable desire and his abuse of power to fulfill it. Zeus was infamous for seducing or assaulting mortals and goddesses alike, often using deception or transformation. He became a swan to seduce Leda, a bull to abduct Europa, and a golden shower to reach Danae. These unions were rarely consensual. The resulting children, though often heroes or demigods like Hercules, Perseus, and Helen of Troy, were born from acts of manipulation and force. Hera, Zeus's wife and queen of the gods, was the frequent victim of his betrayals. Though their marriage symbolized divine union and order, it was a relationship built on lies, power, and vengeance. Hera's jealousy turned outward, often punishing Zeus's lovers or their children, further entrenching the cycle of divine dysfunction. Zeus was also a father to many Olympian deities. Athena, goddess of wisdom, was famously born from Zeus's forehead after he swallowed her pregnant mother, Medusa. Dionysus, god of wine, was carried to term in Zeus's thigh after his mortal mother was incinerated by divine truth. These births show Zeus not only as a ruler, but as a chaotic force of creation, unpredictable, wild, and untouchable. Over time, Zeus's image evolved. In Athens, he was worshipped as Zeus the Just, guardian of order. But in rural areas, he was feared as a stormbringer and sky god with uncontrollable rage. His many epithets, Zeus the Thunderer, Zeus the Protector, Zeus the Liberator, show how he was revered, feared, and invoked for nearly everything. Modern stories soften Zeus. Disney made him a jovial father. Percy Jackson made him flawed but respectable. But other portrayals, like God of War, return to his darker roots, painting Zeus as paranoid, power-hungry, and dangerous. In some myths, Zeus feared the same fate as his father, that one of his sons would rise up to destroy him. This fear drove him to suppress powerful offspring or destroy potential threats. The very cycle of violence that led to Zeus's rise also defined his rule. So who was Zeus? A protector, a tyrant, a god of justice, or an uncontrollable storm? Perhaps he was all of them. Because in mythology, power rarely comes without a price. In the next episode, we'll explore Hera, goddess of marriage, vengeance, and survival in a world ruled by men and gods. Subscribe to hear the next whisper behind the myth.